The stench of diesel and wet cement slapped me like a betrayal. Right there in my own driveway, where Grandma's rose bushes once perfumed the air. I stood frozen in my tailored Washington suit, staring at the monstrous concrete scar carving through our family's 40-acre legacy in Millbrook Falls, Iowa. Bulldozers still growling like they owned the place, where my roosters used to herald the dawn. And get this, while I, Ezra Whitlock, was in D.C. as U.S. Secretary of Transportation, preaching about safeguarding rural heartlands, my HOA had snuck in and paved a private airstrip over my $180,000 organic crop fields, calling my great-grandpa's 100-year-old oak a safety hazard and poisoning our 1924 well with runoff, just to cater to their McMansion egos. Oh, but the punchline? When I stormed over to confront HOA President Morgana Blackthorne. Yep, that's her real name, straight out of a bad fairy tale. She sauntered across my ravaged garden in those click-clacking designer stilettos, flashing a saccharine smile, and thrust a wrinkled $50 Home Depot gift card into my hand. "This ought to square us up, sweetie," she cooed, like she was tipping a barista, not compensating for generational ruin. Record scratch, honey, you just poked the wrong bear in overalls. Let me rewind this nightmare reel for you. I'm Ezra Whitlock, fourth-gen steward of this fertile plot outside Millbrook Falls, where the soil's as rich as the history baked into it. Great-grandpa Josiah hacked this land from wilderness in 1890 with sheer grit, an axe, and a plow that probably weighed more than he did. Mornings here still kick off at 5:30 with coffee brewed black as tar in Grandma's cast-iron pot, bacon popping like fireworks. That crunch of frosty gravel under boots, the earthy tang mixed with dew. That's the pulse of home, folks, not some HOA-mandated lawn perfection. 6 months back, President Martinez tapped me for Secretary of Transportation. Fancy title, sure, but I'd swap every Beltway cocktail for one sunset stroll along my irrigation ditches, hearing that soothing water hum through the pipes. Someone's got to patch America's pothole-riddled veins, and they reckoned a guy who's navigated farm lanes since he could walk knew a thing or two. My wife, Delilah, slings the finest farm-to-table grub in 3 counties from our heirloom tomatoes and sweet corn. Our 16-year-old twins, Sage and Rowan, pros on the combine. Sage's got Delilah's sharp as acumen, plotting AG marketing schemes for college. Rowan's instincts are pure magic, reading cattle huddles like weather apps. But paradise? Ha! Enter the suburban creep 10 years ago, when developers plopped Millbrook Falls estates like invasive weeds after a flood, faux mansions dubbed Wellington and Kensington, because nothing screams Iowa authenticity like pretend royalty. Next up, Duke of Soybean Palace? And Q Morgana Blackthorne, the California transplant who waltzed in 3 years ago, snagged the HOA presidency and launched her standards elevation jihad. Picture this. Perpetual heels tapping like an anxious Morse code, perfume cloud so floral it shames real blooms, nasal twang echoing during her inspections, code for nosy patrols hunting infractions. She's that sub-teacher turned HOA overlord, dressed like she binge-watched 80s soaps for rural inspo. Last April, she raps on our farmhouse door, legal stack in tow, lawyer lurking like a bad omen. "Ezra, darling," she trills, smile sharper than a sickle. "We've got a wee issue with your fallow fields." "Fallow?" I echo, biting back a laugh. "Crop rotation, lady, ancient wisdom keeping soil alive." But page 47 of her sacred bylaws decrees, unused AG land, ripe for community repurposing. Her vision? An $85,000 assessment for a neighborhood aviation hub. I chuckle outright, who needs a runway in corn country? Her grin vanishes like mist. "Your DC gig shows you've ditched property duties," she snaps. "True neighbors invest in progress." Ah, small-town sleaze at its finest. Hubby Bradley's the local judge. Nephew Vernon's HOA legal eagle. Family racket. Swapping justice for kickbacks. They timed their emergency vote for my congressional testimony week. Coincidence? Like Morgana at a barn dance. It squeaked by 4-1, old Cornelius Murphy the lone dissenter. 48 hours later, dozers roll in, shattering my $40,000 tomato greenhouse. Glass exploding like fragile dreams. Heirlooms 8 years in the making gone. But Morgana? Not content with wreckage. 3 days on, a jittery server slaps me with a cease and desist tome, Fancy legalese boiling too, but out or face ethics probes. She'd researched like a vendetta pro. Claim I couldn't leverage my Fed role without personal gain stink. Fight, lose job. Fold, lose farm. Classic trap. Next morn, Millbrook Gazette front pager brands me Capone with a hoe. SOI prioritizes personal plot over public good. Swamp monster me, using taxes for my hobby farm? Hobby? Tell the 4,000 pulped tomatoes. Yet farm life teaches spotting odd bolts in the machine. While Delilah baked stress cookies en masse, vanilla wafting like therapy, I dissected permits. Blood pressure soaring, I uncover gems. Permits predated the vote by days, payments from Blackthorn Investments, not HOA coffers. Land theft via laundering? Time for Iowa-style reckoning. I slam a complaint to county planners for a stop work. Then the big gun. Preach OA farms hold grandfathered rights under state law. History trumps bylaws like rock beats scissors. Document it all, folks. My spread's 90 years senior, making their rules flimsier than wet paper. But I swing wider, call EPA pal Dr. Sarah Chun, who I funded once. Runway over a stream sans review? She gasps. Illegal and idiotic. EPA swarms in 48 hours, sampling like picnic invaders. That stream feeds Mill Creek, watering 1,200 homes. Chemicals mean Fed-level fines, worse than dodging IRS. Town fractures. Old-timers like Cornelius rally, newbies fret values. Diner chats hush at my entry, just cup clinks and chews. Morgana UPS ante with guards securing the site. Blocking my well house, Grandpa's hand-built relic. Delilah's eatery tanks, buying bland trucked veggies tasting of defeat. Mornings? Diesel drowns meadowlark songs. Morgana picked the wrong hayseed. She loathed those EPA probes, so she wallet-whacked me. Certified mail. $500 daily fines for my AG eyesore, near their upgrade. Retroactive, $12,000 in weeks. Interest like rampant weeds. Liens filed. Then my insurance yanked for aviation risk. From her bootleg strip, irony on rye. Breakfasts now fume-laced. Pancakes battle exhaust. Our cat hides indoors, shunning the porch refinery. Channeling Grandpa's mule stubborn, I dig. Cornelius snaps gear pics on his relic camera. Smells off, he grunts. Cross-check serials from my county clerk summers. No FAA nod. Runways ain't veggie stands, need reviews, safety checks, years of red tape. Whistleblower me files FAA/EPA complaints, claiming bounty on fines. Checkers? Nah, Queen's Gambit. Community stirs. Delilah's market draws pie hordes, bluegrass vibes. Editor Jasper hounds Blackthorn finances like a bloodhound. High school eco-kids test streams, teen fury at adult idiocy. But tolls soul deep. Sages dust asthma. Inhaler wheezes knife my heart. Rowan's lamb starves amid rumbles. Delilah wields a spoon. Widow at 50? Resign yourself. Morgana's safety meet. PowerPoint demands I ditch gear taller than gnomes. For her illicit ops. Stop farming for her folly? Peak absurd. Final spark. Crews slice our gas line for lights. Evac. 18 motel hours reeking cleaner. Fearing boom. Confront her. Act of God in progress. She shrugs. Weather chat casual. She torch our legacy and snooze sound. That ignited my blaze. But she doubles. Leaks my salary online, painting me elite tax sucker. Petition for resignation. 200 SIGs from non-farmers. Blogger spins scandal, power abuse? I grind teeth in hearings, taste blood. Pace 3 a.m. to machine hums. Chamomile tea appears bedside. Salvation knocks. Cornelius with ancient shoebox. Late wife Martha's clerk records. Land deals, zoning. Bottom. 1924 railroad easement dock. Federal corridor through the runway. Gold mine. I feed it to DOT Inspector General. Blackthorns? Pattern fraud. $12 million bogus assessments. Bribes. Fakes. Enviro crimes. RICO. 60 Minutes exposes her crime coaching vids. Stream kills fish 15 miles. Quarantines farms. EPA jail threats loom. HOA revolt. Petition meat pack center. 78% boot her. Audit? Enron Light, 300% inflates, kickbacks. Her endgame, flee with $400,000 cash, fake passport. O'Hare bust, more charges. My hearing flips to Hero Fest. Chair Walsh's Whitlock Amendment shields farms. Integrity exemplar, she booms. Morgana's smear boomerangs me to symbol. Porch Eve, silence sweet, cattle lowing, corn whispering. Delilah's cider warms. Town hall tomorrow? I grin. Morgana meets Fed justice on camera. Community center bursts. 500 crammed, media frenzy, sweat coffee turnover haze. Morgana struts late, guard/PR in tow, heels echoing doom. FBI/EPA lurk. Mayor calls order. Morgana interrupts. No jurisdiction. Crowd snarls. Sit. Let SEC speak. I rise, farm-clad. Mayor, facts for clarity? Vote yes. Slides. 1924 easement. Fed corridor. Title 49 protects. Ariel's scream violation. Morgana erupts. Overreach. Personal vendetta. I hush crowd. Mrs. Blackthorn, calm as dawn. As Transportation SEC. I order removal of easement violators per 49 USC 10101. Silence, then applause tsunami. FBI cuffs. Arrest for fraud. Conspiracy. Her shrieks drown in cheers. Seizures, clean up from her funds. Dozers return for justice, ripping concrete. Cleanup. $2 million, stream revives. Fishback. Morgana. 6 years prison. $4.2 million restitution. Bradley ousted. Charged. Vernon disbarred. 3 years. Empire crumbles. HOA dissolves for voluntary group. Rights restore. Families return. Farm rebounds. Insurance pays big. Greenhouse upgrades. Delilah expands. Kids thrive. Sage admitted early. Rowan Champs State Fair. Healing. Heritage Fest draws 10K. Funds infra. Whitlock Foundation scholarships 23 kids. Programs teach sustainability. National win. Farm Protection Act passes. 23 states follow. Time Hero Harvard case Netflix doc 12M views. My tenure boosts rural funds. Mornings. Coffee walks. Corn scent. Birdsong. Cornelius chats. Stood to bullies, eh? Damn right. Ordinary folks topple tyrants. Now, tell me, was Morgana the real victim of government overreach? Or did she just get what every power-abusing Karen deserves? Drop your take. Justice served or witch hunt?